I can ski pretty well, but as soon as it gets a little bit steep or a little bit icy, I fall apart and lose control. I feel everything's going well until it starts to get bumpy or the terrain's not as smooth as I'm used to. Classic sort of phrases I'm used to hearing as a ski instructor out here in the French Alps in Alpe d'Huez. If that sounds familiar, stick with me right now, and maybe part 3 of how to get your ski legs back right now will help you out a little bit. So as I said, this is part 3 of how to get your ski legs back. Don't worry if you've not seen part 1 or 2, stick with me and watch this one first, but it would be useful to go back to them. They will help you out a little bit. This here being the Ridealong channel, in a moment or two, I'm going to take you on a little bit of a cruise, a little bit of a ski along, so you can see exactly what I'm describing to you just now, live and on board as I do it. But before I do, I just need to explain something small so we understand. As you get better at skiing, and to be honest, as you learn any sort of sport, you reach a point where you are unconsciously competent at what you're doing. Meaning you can ski around and you haven't got to concentrate about every little move. What I need to take you back to is a point where you are consciously competent. You are thinking about what you're doing as you're doing it, rather than just naturally doing it on the way down. I want to bring your movements to the front of your mind, rather than just switching off and skiing. It's almost like if I asked you to walk along and describe the movements you're doing, how you're walking, you'd probably end up walking like a robot for a moment or two. It'll feel a little bit strange. But then you start to understand those movements, and then you can start to make them better. That's what this video is about. Let's go for a little ski and you'll see. Now, the fact that you're watching a video on how to get your ski legs back implies you can ski. So this is for anyone who can ski of a sort, and it's really anything from basic snowplow all the way up to performance carving and cruising around a piste. Unconsciously competent. What I'm doing just now, cruising along without really thinking about my movements or what I'm doing. I'm unconsciously confident and competent with what I can do. And generally when people do that, we stand up, let's give you a bit more view here, and we switch on what I call holiday mode, which is what most people are doing, skiing around in this holiday mode. We stand up fairly tall, we're enjoying that fantastic view, we've got our hands in our pockets, and we get so used to doing that it becomes our norm, it becomes our comfort zone, which is why when we get somewhere a little bit more difficult, actually changing anything is really difficult, because this is the only mode that I can ski in. So what I need to find is what I call the ski mode. Engaging the actions that you were taught somewhere along the way. Focusing on one thing to engage the skis and start to take action, if you like. The ski mode, to start with for me, I change the way I stand to start skiing. So I get a little bit lower. I'm a little bit like a goalkeeper, ready to move from side to side wherever it is I might want to go. My hands go a little bit wider and a little bit further in front of me. They're coming to eyesight from the camera that's on my head just now. My hands are ready to do whatever I need to do, to react and move. And from there, the key thing is to concentrate on one point at a time. There's so many coaching points that could be thrown at you for skiing, but try and focus on one. Be that smooth, round, gentle turns. It could be focusing on a regular rhythm, keeping the left and right roughly the same from side to side. It could be focusing on how much pressure and weight and power you're putting through the right ski, or the left ski, or the right ski. You could be focusing on how much separation you have in the upper and lower body. Whatever it is you're focusing on, just make it one point at a time, but in this dynamic ski mode style stance, rather than just switching off the whole time in this cruising back holiday mode and not really focusing on anything until you have to. Holiday mode. I can ski, I'm cruising, not a lot's happening. It's not athletic, it's not gripping, it's not good skiing. It's okay. Engage ski mode. Athletic, dynamic, getting lower. Some movements. vertical, side to side, separation, forward and backwards. Something's actually going on now. This is ski mode engaged. Holiday mode. Stand up, relax, enjoy the view. Ski mode. Get low. Get those piston legs working. Make something happen. Whee! While I'm just coming through the flat there, I dropped in quite a key phrase there, is focusing on things not because you have to, but because you want to. And that's where the ski mode really starts to engage. Right now I'm on a very gentle, quite a few people, I've just got a gap here we go. A nice gentle green piece, but I've engaged ski mode. And I'm concentrating right now on the foot pressure between one foot and the other foot, and where I'm standing in my boot. I definitely don't need to, and I could, there we go, back to holiday mode, just do it. But what it means, I get so used to doing this, that unconsciously competent position becomes a bit closer to ski mode. It means that if it starts to get a little bit steeper like it does now, I haven't got to change things up drastically. I already know what my ski mode is and how to engage it, how to turn on that good position. And then if I fancy it, if I'm just having a nice time, if the view's good, I'll stand up. Actually, ski mode once again. Get that camera out in front of me. Perfect corduroy. Cruising down this piece, but in a nice bit of ski mode. And I'll stand up for a second. Holiday mode, taking the view. Ski mode, this time I'm focusing on separation and feeling the pinch from one side to the other. And holiday mode, I'm going to stand up and just enjoy the slide because it gets a little bit flatter in a moment or two. So take that unconsciously competent skier that you are, you can switch off and have a lovely old holiday, and I think it's important to do that. But maybe one in every 2 or 3 runs, switch on ski mode, engage something, focus on one thing at a time. Go back to the consciously competent, thinking about what you're doing, but knowing you can do it. Remind yourself how good you are and the coaching points you've been given along the way by various instructors before you then go back to holiday mode and enjoy some time off. If you're wondering, by the way, my right hand, or I'm mixing up a little bit, mainly my right hand hasn't been moving so much because, as you can see, I'm holding that camera in the right hand. So if you were to focus on pole planting and maneuvers like that, obviously don't take my skiing just there as an example at all. And these cameras are the Insta360s I'm using. Super easy, just film everything and then I can cut it and make it look like a globe. Spin the view forwards, spin the view at me, whatever it is it might be. If you want to know more about the cameras, there's descriptions in the link just below, and there's quite a few videos I've made on how to use these cameras for skiing as well. I'll put everything in the description so you can find out what's going on. And on a similar line, obviously I'm not in uniform just now. Normally I'm wearing bright red ESF ski school uniform, just like my colleague who's about to appear in a second. So if you fancy joining me for a lesson, at intermediate, at advanced, or my personal favourite is taking people off-piste and way into the backcountry, like a couple of the clips you can see just now on the screen. That's what I've been doing a lot of this week. Be sure to drop me a message as soon as you can, book up early. This is the 2023-24 winter. I'm already getting pretty booked up, but if you do want to come and join me for a session or two, I'll see you out here in Alpe d'Huez. If you haven't already, by the way, remember, whack subscribe down at the bottom of the little video just there, and leave me a little comment. Let me know what you think, or even once you've been skiing, let me know how you got on, switching between holiday mode and ski mode. Thanks very much. I'll see you soon. Okay.